Hello and welcome to BISP Solutions. So we will resume our Oracle Fusion financial session where we have left yesterday. So we were doing we were doing the accounts payable configuration tomorrow. So we have seen the we have seen four we have seen the four we have seen the four setups yesterday. That we have seen the common options for payable and procurement, data reference set, how why data reference data set is important, and we have seen the payment terms. So along with it, we have also covered the assigning to RDS to BU and assign the RDS to the payment terms. Okay, so let's continue our session and where we have left. So we were doing sorry. So here we logged into a user that we are doing the practice session. We are doing the navigation here. Okay, so today in the today's session we have to do the invoice option, how to configure invoice option, how to configure the payment option, and we will add the procurement agent and we assign the supplier manager. Okay, so we are going to do these four tasks in the today's session. Okay, so first we have to configure the invoice option. Okay, so why we are going to configure the invoice option? Okay, let's go and see the navigation here. Okay, then we have to from again we will go to a project that we are doing the implementation project. Okay, so here we will go to our implementation project again. Okay, so as you all know how to go to the project. Okay, so in the project we will search the invoice option in the task bar. Okay, invoice option. Okay, here you can see it, the task is manage invoice option. We go through this, and here you can see you can see that the two task is under this invoice option, that is the manage invoice option, and the other is manage payment options. Okay, so we will do this task simultaneously one by one. So we will go to the go to task of action. Okay, here we have to select a BU. Why we are selecting a BU? Because if we don't assign the BU to this invoice option, we will not be able to record any entry, because the application will not understand the entry, and it will gone missing. So we have to assign the business unit, for which business unit the invoice you are going to record. We will see in the coming sessions. Okay, so here we will assign the business unit. We click apply and go to task, and now we will search a business. Okay, what our business is? PRA. Here you can see the PRA business unit. We are doing the PRA business. Okay, we will just select it. Don't select this option, otherwise it will take you to the business unit window where we can edit, and then okay, so you click anywhere apart from there and save and close. So in this way we will assign the so now here the invoice options has been opened up. Okay, so now you can see there is many required options are available. It is required, it is mandatory options. We have to record it. It is defaulted given by the Oracle, so we will set up this, but let's see what is these options there. Okay, so we are not doing anything here, because every feature, invoice entry, matching, discount, prepayment, approval, some are going to do after each and every task when we are going to do. Suppose here you can see prepayment terms. We will going to understand what is prepayment terms, so then we will come here and configure this feature. But right now I am just showing you the invoice entry option only. Okay, so you have to remember this, whether I am going to edit any invoice options, anything in related to in the invoice option, we have to come here and edit the edit the configuration. Okay, so suppose here you can see the payment priority is given 99. Why it is given 99? Because it is given as 99 is the last feature, it is only on to the two decimals. Okay, so that's why it is given 99. And payment terms, you can see it is only registered at immediate. So why immediate? This immediate is coming here because as you see in the previous session that we have assigned this immediate payment terms to a RDS when we created PRA RDS. Okay, so that's why if we haven't assigned this assigned that RDS to this payment terms, it will not be able to come up here. Okay, so now you can see these three payment terms we have created. Whether you want to give PR5 or anything you want to give, you can assign it. Why we will assign this term data databases? Because in your enterprise or anywhere you are working, you want to give a default, like just we have given the default in the chart of accounts value sets, just and the general category, the adjustment part we can define it, so we don't have to again scroll up and do this thing. Okay, so that's why we will give this immediate. Okay, now the term date basis comes up. Here you can assign the invoice date, good receive date, invoice receive date, system date, anything you want to anything you want to assign, you can just give it. So it is given invoice date here. Now again here if you see the pay date basis, here pay date basis is also there. We have just assigned the discount date, that's why it is defaulted accounting database. It is all defaulted by given by the Oracle Fusion. Okay, so we are not going to edit anything, and we just click save and close and move to a next topic. Okay, next feature, and the next feature is manage configure the payment options. Okay, so now we will configure the payment options here. Why the payment option? Let's see what is there. Okay, here you can see the payment options. Okay, all the payment options, we are not going to edit anything here, but you can see what options it is provided. You can see payment accounting and overrides. Here you will see allow payment date before the system date. You can just edit this thing if it is required to you. Okay, I'm not going to check the box this and move forward. Okay, here you can see account for payment. It means that when the account for payment will become up at the time of issue or at the time of clearing, or when, so we have selected both the time, at the payment issue and clearing type. Okay, here you can see it requires currency conversion. Why it is checked? Because because suppose you are entering any invoice other than the US dollar, so that's why it is checked. And so the conversion rate type is corporate, that is the conversion rate which is provided by the Oracle here. Okay, so bank charges, if any bank charge deductible, or here you can just add it as per your requirement. So I just click save and close, and here you can see we have completed our two tasks, that is invoice options and the payments options. Okay, so these two options will become up again here, invoice option, or you can just type the payment option. Let's see it will come up or not. Okay, you can see here. Okay, again manage payments options, and it will give you both the navigation here. Okay, so now we move forward and we will go and add the procurement agent. Remember we will move to a next topic, that is the procurement agent. Okay, procurement agent. Okay, procurement agent, we have to add the procurement agent. Why? Because if we want to we will create the three we will create the supplier manager. Okay, for supplier. Okay, for supplier, suppose we want to add the supplier.
Suppose you want to
Now we want to create as a supplier here. Okay, so now here So now we want to create the supplier, so we have to provide three conditions. Okay, we have to fulfill the three conditions to create a supplier. That is the employee user that we have seen already. Okay, that we have already seen. Procurement agent we are going to see now. Okay, and the third is after that the supplier manager. Okay, okay, that we will see later after the procurement agent, after creating a procurement agent. Okay, so with these three suppliers, with these three options, with these three users, then we can be able to create the supplier. If we won't fulfill any of the one condition, we will not be able to create the supplier in the system enrollment, and we will not be able to configure or to create any invoice, etc. Okay, because the supplier manager is a core here. So we have to create the supplier, but before supplier manager we have to create the procurement agent. That means we have to configure the procurement agent. Okay, so let's go and see the procurement agent. So suppose first we will go to the project again. We'll go to a project and we will give the name procurement agent. Okay, here you can see manage procurement agents, and it will show you the manage procurement agent and manage common options for bills procurement. In the last session we have completed this task, manage common options for payables and procurement. Okay, so now we will just add the manage a procurement agent. We will click on go to task and create a, here we have to create a procurement agent. Okay, wait a minute. Okay, so now from this side icon, you can see there is many procurement agent is created. We can choose selected anyone, but we will not be able to control the supplier after. So we have to create our own procure agent. Okay, we will create the procurement agent here. Okay, so we will search a procurement business unit. Okay, and we have created the a user and the employer with the test one. We have given the same name for the confusion, so we cannot stuck in the confusion. As you can see in the previous sessions, I have created the employee user when we were doing the legislative data group. Okay, when we were doing LDG, we were creating the employer and we link that employer to the implementation project manager. Okay, why we have linked both those two? Because without creating the employer it will not be able to perform certain functions, so there should be have to be the employer. So now we are now creating the procurement agent, and we just assign the procurement BU to this employee user. So we are giving the access of the procurement agent to this employee user. Okay, default requisitioning BU we can provide it here. Okay, so now if you want to give the default printer, you can search it. The printer is which printer is available in your system, you can select it. And now here you can see the agent access. Now here you can see. Okay, now here you can see the agent access actions. You can see manage requisitions, manage purchase order, manage purchase agreement. There are immense number of agent access is there. If you want to allow, you can just allow all, or you can just click you just uncheck this allowed button here. Okay, here you can see access to other agents. Suppose you can see it given access to other agent documents, you can just giving him an access, but you are giving him access only for view or only for full. Suppose here you can see it is given the none, because we will not giving him the access to other agents documents. So why we are not giving him the access? Because if we give him this access, it can be manipulate the data, or it can be the data will be compromised of other agents as well. Okay, So we will let this remain as it is. Okay, and we click save and close, so our procurement agent will be created. Okay, after clicking save and close, you can see changes has been saved. Okay, so now now you can search your you can see it. So you can come back later and you can edit this if any action access you want to enabled or disabled, or you want to give any access. Okay, so this is how the procurement agent has been done. Okay, so after this we have to give the role to this user, the role of the supplier manager. Okay, that role will be provided to this user. So our three conditions for creating the supplier will be met in our system enrollment. Okay, so as you all know, where we have to give, as I told you in the previous session, when we give the role to a user, we have to perform the two steps. The first is to give the role from the security console, and the second is to assign that role to a data access and the data access for users. So without these two, after that we have to perform the LDAP. Okay, if we don't perform these two steps, the role we assign to the user will not become ineffective. Okay, so here we will go to the security console, and we give the user. Okay, so here you can see that it is already been the worker information you can see. Okay, worker name is test1, person number, and the business unit is there. Okay, it is already, we have provided the employer and we have given these role already. So now so now we add it, and we give the role here. And what is the role we will provide? It supplier manager. Okay, we will select this. As I told you, you have to select Aura starting or GL. If we don't have to select the copy, otherwise otherwise the role will not be come ineffective. Okay, so we give him the add role. Okay, and after we click save and close, then we go again to a project, setup and maintenance. Okay, okay, here we will data access for users. Okay, yeah, so this is the second step we have to perform. We give add to this user is that a test. Okay, we can search it from here, and a supplier manager. Okay, click save and close, and done. And after that, the last we have to do the LDAP, so that the roles has been, so the role will be assigned to this user, the supplier manager. Okay, let me show you what happens after this. We will, okay, after that role we gave him, we will be able to see the procurement here. Okay, so you can see the procurement option is not available here, and the payable option is also not available. So the first thing is that the procurement will be add on this option list. Okay, after assigning him role, so we can check it whether the role has been assigned or not. Okay, so let's do the last process, give the LDAP. Okay, so let's wait. So let's wait for 2 minutes. Without this we will not be able to move ahead. Okay. So let's see whether it's blocked. Let's just I'll come back here. We go sign out and sign in. That means we refresh this. Okay. Let's go and see. Here you can see here. So the task has been assigned and you can see the procurement has been added here. So it means the we have successfully assigned the supplier manager to this user. So we have created the supplier manager as well. So after that we will create the supplier from here. That's what I was saying. Without three conditions, without performing these three conditions, we were unable to open up this. Okay, we have to create the employer first. Okay, we have to add the procurement agent, then we have to create the supplier manager. Okay, and then the procurement starts. So from here we will create the suppliers. Okay, so the supplier option, so the supplier we will see later. Okay, so now the next topic will come up is that the distribution sets. Okay, so what are the distribution? There are distribution means the invoice amount to distribute, like we were doing in the general. We have created the accounting combination, just like not just like that, but we have to create the distribution set. Suppose we are we are just giving sorry, we are just paying for some expenses. We are creating the invoice for suppose we are just creating the invoice for the rent, for the expenses, for any other expenses. So we have to create that distribution set. Okay, that distribution set can be done in the sorry, the distribution set we can be done while creating the invoice, but some distribution can be done before the invoice, so it will be configured. Okay, there are two types of distribution set, that is full distribution set and the other is skeleton distribution set. Okay, okay, two distribution sets are available here. Okay, that is okay, that is full distribution set and the other is skeleton distribution set. Okay, okay, so what is full distribution set and what is full distribution set and what is the skeleton distribution set? So full distribution set means that we can assign a distribution set to automatically enter distribution for invoice when we are not matching it to a purchase order. Okay, like suppose we have created an advertisement, suppose we are creating for an advertising supplier. Okay, so advertising supplier, so our distribution side that allocates advertising expense on an invoice to 4 advertising departments. Okay, we can assign a default distribution side to a supplier side, so Payable will use it for every invoice. Okay, okay, so we can use the full distribution set to create distribution set percentage amounts. Okay, now the next is skeleton distribution set, create distribution with no set distribution amount. Like suppose a full distribution set for a rent invoice, just I have told you, assign a 70% of the invoice amount okay, to the sale facility okay, and the skeleton distribution set for the same invoice would create one distribution set for the sales facilities. So it means creating the full distribution set or creating the skeleton distribution set means we have to assign different expenses and different payables to this. Okay, that we will now see how to create the distribution set. Okay, okay, now suppose there now suppose, so okay, this so distribution set can be added like this. Suppose a rent, we are having a distribution set to Payable rent. Okay, so how we will create this distribution set? We will just create this distribution set that we will provide 100% to the rent account. Okay, this is full distribution set. Okay, this, okay, and the next is suppose we have purchased any suppose any, you can say any machinery. Okay, no, we don't take machinery. Okay, suppose what we can say, suppose we have purchased any so let's take an example of machinery. Okay, we have purchased the machinery. Okay, so distribution set has been done here is that 90% amount will be distributed to the machinery. Okay, 5% we give to the freight. Okay, the machine will come through the freight. Okay, or the next 5% amount will be given to the taxes. Of course there will be any tax applicable to that country. Okay, so this is how the distribution has been created. Okay, suppose you want to create the invoice in one go, like suppose you want to create invoice of many expenses. Okay, suppose many expense, so and we don't know about how much the distribution amount is to be provided, is to be allocated to that particular expense. So we will just create a distribution set with 0%, like 0 to internet expenses. Okay, 0 to 0 to stationery. Okay, and 0 to xyz, etc. Okay, so this is the third distribution site is available here. Okay, so this is the third distribution site. So these are the 3 distribution sites are there for us. Okay, why we have taken the 0% here? Because we don't know the percentage. We don't know the percentage. Suppose there is a $100 to that, we don't know whether we have to give 50, 25 or 25 here, or we have to assign him 10 or 45 with 45. Okay, we don't know this distribution. We will distribute the amount when we create the invoice there. Okay, so this is called the full distribution site and the skeleton distribution site. This is called the full distribution and these are all called the skeleton distribution site. So these 2 distribution sites are there. Okay, okay, so so after setting up the distribution site, we will create the supplier. Okay, we have done the procurement, we have done the procurement agent and we assign the supplier manager. Now we will create the supplier. Okay, as you can see, while we create the supplier, in the employee user we have to give profile, address and site. Okay, so here you can see the here you can see the differences. That is the employee user. and that is the implementation user. Okay, for the implementation user we create only the profile and the address, okay, as if you have attended the previous sessions. Okay, and for the employee user, okay, we will give him profile as well, address as well. But now we are now going to create the employee user as a supplier as well. So for this we have to give him the site. What is the site? We will see when we create the supplier. Okay, and we have to assign the site to BU. Okay, if we don't assign this site to BU, it will not be captured by the Oracle. Okay, so these tasks we are going to do when we create the supplier. Okay, so for the today's sessions we will done this, and for tomorrow we will see this navigation here. We will start from this navigation, and thank you for joining us, and see you in the next session.